and it says it's spinning.
Oh,
It's
And is it
live.
live
you're
now?
live.
We are.
Woo!
I can't tell. It didn't ask me
We
any
never get
questions
it.
this time. Sometimes it asks me lots of questions.
Wait.
Today it didn't. It just said you're going to be live at some point soon. Who knows? So this is
Okay,
how we
Woohoo!
yeah.
intro the show. Lisa, welcome.
Hey,
Yeah, this
yay, thank you.
yeah, we have no like we're not cool to have like a video or a
I mean,
music
I can make
play.
one, but at this
No,
point,
we
people
just
know.
hit a button and
What's up,
wait.
gamers? Welcome to our channel.
None of that.
Doesn't happen.
Hey everyone, we have a special guest. It's Lisa.
Hi.
We love
Hello.
Lisa. Lisa, I officially, unofficially asked you the other day I was over at your place if you would like to kind of
Dog's
become
screaming.
a member of Lambda Quadrant. And what did you say to me?
I said yes.
Yay!
Then I said, wait, I thought I was. I wasn't. Oh, okay. No, I'm just kidding. I said yes. She asked
Received the
me.
official invite.
I got the official invite. Besides, I
Yeah.
usually just hold Nikki's purse anyway when she's taking pictures and stuff. I'm
Right,
already like
right,
her personal assistant anyway, so it just worked
Really?
out.
right.
Not
That
really.
is
Yeah,
great. Not really.
if all of you, if any of you joined us during the LA premiere when we were doing crazy, weird live videos that we also didn't know how to run technology because we don't know, Lisa was with us, and Lisa definitely was like our entertainment because I was like all the
I see you.
information.
I don't want any trouble.
I wish I had heard him say that.
Oh my god.
Wait, who
I
said
see
that?
you. The security guard.
I may have been a little pushy, but I was polite. They thought I
Sure,
was
no, you were
funny.
very polite. You were,
I
but
was very
when
That's
she
so
went
funny.
back through, the security guard was like, "I see you. I don't want any trouble."
I
That
didn't
is
have my
so funny.
ticket. I didn't have
Like,
my
not that he was
ticket.
going to kick her out. Like she was going to beat him up. Like,
I was supposed to have my thing on my phone, and Nikki's like, "I sent it to you." I'm like, "Well, damn it, hold on. I got him." He goes, "Just let her through.
Hey,
Just
Ben.
Hey.
don't even stop her."
yep,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
good times. Yeah.
Yeah. Anna,
So
you
Lisa's
missed
our
some
new
of the
security
craziness at
officer.
the Star Trek Picard premiere. I
Wait,
think
what?
your premiere. I said you missed some of the craziness that we had at the
Oh,
LA premiere for
yes,
Picard.
because the New York premiere, like the 92nd Street Y, they know how to run an event.
That sounds
and
great.
and also on top of that, they like it was a very it was like people found out because they were part of 92nd Street Y.
That's hilarious.
It was not like it was
You would
not
think
like
the
a
most famous theater in the world would know how to put on an event, but
yeah.
apparently not so much.
It was like and like people were like, "How did you get tickets to that? I didn't even know what's happening." I'm like, "Well, because I'm on the 92nd Street Y like email list because I'm a
course you do.
nerd who loves 92nd Street Y." Like my dad's like, "Oh, is Paul Krugman, the economist, going to 92nd Street Y?
Oh.
Let's go." He was there. It was great, but like, not at that event. That would have been hilarious.
I was like,
Patrick
he was at
Stewart,
that event?
Patrick Stewart, and Paul Krugman talking about the economy. That's all it was.
I'd still watch.
That would
I'd
have been
still
great.
watch.
I
I'd
would
still
watch
watch.
that. That would have been
Still
really
watch.
funny.
Still watch.
Just a
Oh my
room
gosh, that
full of
would've been
Trekkies who
hilarious.
just watched the premiere, and then they're just like, "What is Bitcoin?"
Oh, God.
Get out.
Oh.
now.
But yeah, no, that was yeah, it was a great event. But 92nd Street Y, they have that down. It was very interesting though how many people were like, "How'd you find out about that? How is that a thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was weird for me too when I got the email. It's like, this isn't where I find out about Star Trek things.
That is very weird.
This is where I find out about book readings that I like."
Sponsored
Why
by
is this
Target.
happening?
And it's sponsored by Taco Bell. That's so weird. I didn't know they were
In the
not.
future, all restaurants are Taco Bell.
In the future, all food is tacos.
Go
It's
back.
Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Demolition Man. Yeah.
I always love a good. Oh my gosh, you have to come visit my my apartment sometime, Lisa, because I have the 3 seashells in my bathroom, and I just love finding
Shut
out who
up.
comments on them. I
Yes.
3D printed them, and they're just sitting there. Some people are like, "What?" and then some people laugh, obviously, because
Oh my God. I love you.
Well,
Yes.
you two do live closer than I live
That's
to
true.
either of you.
That's
So
true. That's true.
I did say when I dropped Randy off, I was like, I'm gonna memorize where he lives so I can come visit. And he was like, okay, bye. He got out of the and then stopped answering my text messages. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know what happened. With the Picard thing here in LA, first off, I'm still just really grateful that Nikki invited me. I was so excited about that. I don't know. I didn't know if it was Paramount or if it was the marketing team, because I feel like somebody stepped in and went, what would be great? Let's get all the people in costume and not realize like you
but
were
we
dealing
didn't
with
tell anyone that. That's fine.
Yeah, because they had just said that. Yeah, if they had said like, "Hey, we're going to put you in the fan pen or whatever if you are dressed in cosplay or whatever."
Yeah.
I probably still
spend
wouldn't
a
have
lot
dressed
of
in
money
cosplay.
on clothes. F you.
Yeah, but you look beautiful though. You look beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, Randy looked incredible. Randy went to a stylist.
I saw her this week too. I went back to her. She's amazing.
Yay!
Claudia, anyone in Studio City, go see that lady. She's amazing.
After that event in New York, though, because it really was just like, and now we're having a talk back, and it's like, it was very lovely. But then afterward, my dad and I, we went to our favorite pub in New York City, Patty Riley's, which is nowhere nearby that, but it's a great pub. And it turns out FDNY had just allowed firefighters to smoke weed that week.
What?
Not while on shift, of course.
Well,
can't just be blaze, but
dude, we're already here. Just spark it.
Yeah. So we see this guy who we were like, oh, he's already had a bunch of drinks, and he's FDNY, and he sees my I was wearing my Discovery jacket with like a To Proudly Go pin, a Lambda Quadrant pin, and like the cadet pin, like it was covered and in pins, and then he just goes like, that's Star Trek? And I'm just like, yeah. And then he ends up. At first, we're like, yeah. we were like, oh, this guy's really drunk because we're in a bar. And then we ended up talking to him the entire night. He was a firefighter. He was a huge Trekkie, and he was just blazed out of his mind because he just been able to smoke weed for the first time in years. and he bought my dad and I 5 rounds of Guinness. We got messed up.
I didn't realize it was that much. I mean,
we drank a lot. Guinness, we drank a lot of Guinness. It's really good there too. The Guinness is really good. And then, and it was the day. It was the day after. It was the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So the Superb Owl. and
Superb Owl. The Superb Owl. Oh, I love that owl. I love that owl.
Yeah. And
sports game where you just watch for commercials. Like
I was like,
the bartender. The bartender who knows us was there, but he was so hungover, and he just goes over to us and just is like, "It's the only way to fight a hangover, to get more drunk." And of course, my dad and I immediately are just like, water, and I'm like, I've got Tylenol because of course I have Tylenol. And this firefighter just goes, yeah, drink more, and then the bartender gave us all free shots of good whiskey, and
definitely high.
Yeah. and then of course we were like closing up because we just ended up like basically partying with the bartender and the firefighter. It's a Monday night. And we're like low-key helping him close up the bar while we're really drunk.
Right? I love it, right? That's so much fun though, right?
Oh my God, yes.
I love fun stuff like that. That's great.
It was Star Trek and then Bluegrass Night at an Irish pub, getting messed up and then stumbling back with my dad.
Gosh. We ended up, what did we do? We went to Dave and Buster's after.
And had the worst food ever.
Yeah, that's right. And their food was awful because they had a new chef or whatever.
Yeah, I was
chef,
say Dave
that's
and Buster's.
the word they're using.
I was gonna say Dave and Buster's, like, it's not amazing, but it's not bad.
No, but it's usually decent.
But it wasn't even like.
I think it was like
sure, I'll keep eating this. I wasn't even there.
We couldn't even eat it. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so salty.
Yeah, they were.
However, the security guard was really hot, if you remember.
That's true. He was so cool too. Yeah, he was super cool.
Wait,
the
Dave and Buster's security guard?
Yes, I'm not making this up.
Well, the Paramount ones were idiots, but the Dave and Buster's one guy was great.
He was hot. I was like, damn.
After a certain time, you have to show that you're over 21. to get
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
Right.
No, well, I was just wondering because earlier I hear about Lisa trying not to give trouble to a different security guard, and I'm like, how many security guards did you guys
Everyone that we
interact
come
with?
across.
Interestingly
Everyone that we
enough,
come across.
Y'all
Yes.
got arrested that night?
They-
Her partner has been a security guard, so I think Lisa has a
She's
thing.
just
I
with
have
naturally
a
drawn to
thing.
them. She's got a type,
Wolverine,
and
right?
it might
For
be
the
security
record,
guards.
I don't do well with waiting, so we weren't sure what was
That's true too.
happening,
That's true too.
and
Yeah, that's
everybody's
true.
being polite, and I wasn't
To be fair though,
rude.
like you are in pain, so it's not like you're just annoyed. Like you're like, I am physically in pain. I need to sit down or go somewhere, and they're just like, what? So like, I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I was really nice. They were very nice, and I said, "Listen."
Right.
And I came back up, and I was like, "Well, after they let the group in in cosplay, which they looked awesome, and I'm really glad that anybody dressed up got to have that experience because they
too.
totally deserved it. And just because we weren't dressed up doesn't mean we're not just as big of fans. But I get it for the photo ops. But I'm like, that's cool, but that's still fucked up. Like, don't send that out. And
Yeah.
somebody
at least
needs
tell
to
me the truth,
know.
right? And that's all.
And,
That's all that we need. Yeah.
and you have an angry, short, black Afro Latina woman here, and I'm not happy, and I'm sweaty. Okay.
Right.
And my friend is in custom Gucci. We are not at this.
And
is
I
not
am
okay.
gay.
Okay.
Move, I'm
Okay.
gay.
And then,
Move, I'm gay. Honestly, in this
yeah,
workplace, we just have a lot of laughs.
but then Nikki was so cool. She was really sweet because I didn't mind. I didn't care where we sat, but I have a heart condition, and sometimes it's just hard for me to get around. And then the theater is beautiful, but there's a lot of fucking steps. I'm sorry, stairs are my arch
Oh man,
nemesis,
that's so true.
much like
yeah.
the board. Okay, they just are. And our seats were like way down at the front. Like,
You
girl,
open
go
the
ahead.
red door and it's stairs.
I was like,
It's MC Escher's painting.
Right? Yeah.
that's exactly it, Anna. You nailed it. I was like, fuck
Honestly.
this,
That's what
bro.
it was.
I was like, Nikki, go on without me. I'll be there in the
Why do they have
middle.
upside down stairs in here? What is this?
What the fuck? I was like,
What
my
kind of white
weave is-
people bullshit? Upside down stairs.
Listen, I was already like, my weave is sweated out. I've had to walk around this building. I am hot. This is some bullshit.
The only snacks, as I'm going to say the word snacks again, the only snacks were popcorn and like a small drink.
Right.
I look like I eat anything
We didn't
small.
have snacks at
No.
92nd Street Y.
Oh, you
Oh.
didn't even have snacks?
No,
That's so
because
hard.
92nd Street
No snacks
Y
would have been better.
is
The
a
snacks they had
classy
was a slap in
joint.
the face.
Yeah.
Because they said there were gonna be snacks, and then it was old
And then it was-
popcorn.
Yeah.
Just bag the last night's popcorn. They'll never know.
Literally what it was.
Yeah.
You know the thing that pissed me off is I actually technically got in the theater before everybody because I went the back way because I was like,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
I have to pee.
Look.
So I
You
was
went to
in
the
the
bathroom.
You
theater.
should just stayed your ass there.
Yeah.
You should just stayed inside.
And we would have been like, oh my god, our friend is in there. I think she's hurt. We gotta go in and save her.
Nikki, come get me. Nikki, come get me.
And just start screaming. Just start screaming.
Yeah.
But we
Oh
got
my
our
God,
seats
that's funny.
changed.
Yeah,
Nikki
start
was
screaming.
cool. She got our seats changed. But that's the other thing though too. They didn't make arrangements for anybody with ADA. Like in all seriousness, like I'm like, not everybody can walk these stairs, and they didn't make arrangements. But Nikki found two guys who were super, super sweet. But those
Yeah,
seats
they
ended
were.
up being empty anyway, which I felt bad that they moved.
I know, which was ridiculous. But we did sit very close to like here we are, right? Then there's an aisle with this set of stairs that we all hate. And then there was Alex Kurtzman, Patrick Stewart, Gabe McFadden, LeVar Burton on the aisle.
And I
all the way
got to
up
talk to Patrick Stewart, and I made this great
as he was
video
walking
of
out.
just his feet. Because I forgot to hit record. I was so excited. I was like, hello, Sir Patrick, congratulations. And I was like, I got it. And Nikki goes, did you? And it was just his feet walking by.
Which was good
After I
because,
talked to him.
which was good because then the Paramount security guard.
but
came
then we can
over
judge
and
his
she
shoe
was
game.
like, delete it,
I
delete
got in
it.
trouble again. I forgot I got in trouble with the other security guard.
Another scary card. That's 3 for 3.
Actually, it was 4. It was the one at the check-in.
Oh, that's
and
right. The
then
check-in one. Yeah, you're right.
And the one at the gate, the line thing, and then the one inside, and then yeah. Okay, you can't take me places. I'm sorry.
Also, for anyone that was at the LA premiere for Picard, when the sound went out in the middle of the Raffi and her husband scene or whatever, and there was a woman who yelled, "Michelle, do your lines!" That was Lisa. This is very entertaining.
I was just glad everybody laughed.
That's funny. That's
Well,
funny.
I didn't mean to say it that loud, and then I was like, oh, I did
Oh, no,
say
it
it
was
loud.
perfectly timed because it was like quiet for quite a while, and somebody had murmured something about like closed
the sound.
captioning or something
Right.
else, and then
Right.
I
No.
mean, the center
Michelle's here, and was like, Michelle, do your lines.
Poor Michelle's like, oh God, I don't remember.
Like, the Center Channel's
That was
out.
a year and a half ago, and I don't know how they edited it.
Lisa, I'm so glad that you're a member of Lambda Quadrant officially now.
I don't know much of anything, but I'll try to be entertaining.
know anything at all? No,
I think you know enough. You like Star Trek? You like Star Trek, right?
Should I go get it? I'm looking at my Ohura doll right now.
Yeah. I think you're good, honestly.
I
Just
think
a bunch of
I'm good.
nerds.
I'm represented. But yeah, the Center Channel went out, and I was like, "Oh shit, their Center Channel went out." Nikki goes, "How'd you know?" And I was like, "She was like, oh shit,
That's
yeah,
where
you
the-
ran theaters for
Yeah,
years."
you worked
And I
in
was
theaters. Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
where
yeah,
the voice
okay.
usually is. Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck, it went down." But I'm mostly proud. I am not proud of my Patrick Stewart shoe video, which I still watch. I haven't posted any of my Picard stuff. I don't know why. I'll post it this.
Oh.
You know what? I'll post it today. But I'm really proud of my Nikki. Michelle's still here. And Nikki goes, "Go get her."
Go get her.
Go get her.
She fully Ghostbustered me. Get her. I was like, "God."
I will tell you by that time.
I was like,
I will say by that time, that pro tab had nicely kicked it. That,
Oh,
like,
that's
half
right. I
pro tab.
forgot. I
Yes.
forgot.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So if anybody,
You know what?
yeah.
You know what? I was really pro legalization of marijuana at the start until I started hanging out with you guys. Y'all need to be. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
we have fun, but we are all about safety too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very
and
true.
if anybody is actually curious about what we are talking about, because you have no idea or you weren't at the premiere, all of our little live videos are still on our Instagram account, so you can go check them
Oh
out.
dang!
I'll
Dang,
post
what's
mine
that?
today.
What's that Instagram handle? What was that again? What's that called? Where do I look
At
that up?
Lambda
Do you like this
Quadrant?
bit? There you go. At Lambda Quadrant.
Oh, everywhere. She was
So
consistent.
again, also by the way, thanks to VTC team and Seventh Rule podcast for inviting me
Aw.
on the main viewer earlier this
Yay.
week, whenever it was who knows what day it is. But
Yeah.
I also did all of our shout outs and all of our handles. And I did like the line that Randy always says, which is like, you can find us at Lambda Quadrant everywhere. But I said it so fast, it was like, at Lambda Quadrant everywhere. And somebody typed in the chat, like, at Lambda Quadrant everywhere.
Oh no!
Every quadrant
I
is the
love
Lambda
that.
Quadrant.
That's gonna be our next form is Lambda Quadrant everywhere.
That's the gay agenda right there. That's the gay agenda. The manifest destiny.
Yeah.
Speaking of things we're doing and coming up with, I'm going to share the
Okay,
video.
yeah.
So if you saw our Twitter, and hopefully you did, you saw the merch reveal, but I'm going to reveal it again here in case you haven't seen it. And with my new printer, I'll talk while it's doing. With the new printer, I was able to create a time lapse video.
Yeah.
Of me making our merch, so you know it's not some poor child in another country that's making it. It really is me.
But they do make good pants. I'm kidding.
We don't sell pants, so that's okay.
Randy, I love that you fixed the framework, but now it looks very weirdly hand-like.
Isn't it weird? It's so easy. It's so and so it's these. Yay! Mini tiny rainbow ghost sex candles. Yay!
Those are so cute.
So much fun.
Those will be available at STLV.
At STLV.
Come find our table in the venue.
I will still have the rainbow horror guns because those are always popular, but we're adding these in too, so you can, if you already have a horror gun, come get a ghost sex candle.
Yeah.
There.
It's important because here's the thing. there's the two genders, Rainbow Horgon and Rainbow Ghost Sex Scandal.
Right.
Those are the two genders,
When
right?
people say there are only two genders, that's what they mean.
That's what they mean. They mean that.
That's what they mean, and you can't disagree with that.
Say this isn't that related, but it's related because it's queer. Randy and Nikki at least know, but I started substitute teaching, and I've been really enjoying that. And I just want to say, like, I was substitute teaching for middle school, which middle schoolers are notoriously the worst people.
Brave.
But I gotta say, you know, I had a middle schooler who they did not say they were non-binary, but I heard their friends using they them pronouns, and when I was doing attendance they were saying like, oh, I actually prefer this name and I just changed over. And you know, and then the rest of the class I'm only referring to them by that name and I'm only using they them pronouns for them. And I ended up teaching 2 days in a row for that teacher. The way that child's face lit up just every time I just called them by their preferred name and used they them pronouns, it was magical. And it's just, I was thinking about just like, it takes so little to really make an impact. And especially now with the horrible legislation and just the disgusting polarization of people's lives. It shouldn't be a political issue. These are people's lives. This is their mental health. This is their survival rate. It costs you nothing. And of course, you might slip up on a pronoun, you might slip up on a name, but it's about intent.
People don't usually care if you accidentally.
You genuinely, and if you truly just like make that little effort, you can make a person's life. Like, I might never see that kid again, you know?
Yeah.
But I made an impact in a way that, honest, like, and they'll remember that. And like, there was another kid who mentioned something about being Jewish, and I grew up in the same neighborhood, and it's not a very Jewish area. And I said, oh, I am too. The way her face lit up, because she was like, oh my God, you're the first Jewish person I've gotten to meet that isn't my family.
Oh.
Like, and I was like, I know how you feel because I was there. And it's like, it's that kind of thing. And we understand kind of certain, like, you know, as Trekkies, we understand when you get to meet another person who's really into Star Trek, the way you get excited, it's the same thing. It's the same euphoria.
Yeah.
Except now, like, truly imagine your life. People are talking about in politics and saying like, oh, we shouldn't make this allowed. We should make this illegal. So, you know, I just was thinking about it, especially as, you know, I made the two genders joke, and I'm just thinking like, this is why I love working with Lambda Quadrant. And this is why I'm so excited Lisa's going to be working with us. And I'm just so excited that we get to keep doing this, because it really is just about love and acceptance, which is what Star Trek's supposed to be about a better future.
Which
anyway,
is why
I brought the mood down, but
oh, really good. It's really good.
But put up hashtag probably high again.
No, you didn't bring the mood down, because that's like, people always ask me, like, just all kidding aside and everything, like, why do you like Star Trek better than Star Wars? And that was always why. From the beginning, it always felt inclusive to me. Like, Uhura was not a background actor; she was a very much a leading lady, a part of the team with a voice and an opinion, and that was my first introduction to, oh my God. And she influenced so many things. And then to continue your conversation about what we're doing in what's happening in politics and trans, and Nikki's met TJ. TJ is my best friend of like 20 plus years, and I knew TJ as TJ. I was the first person that they told that they liked wearing women's clothes and felt more like a woman, and then went through the transition and has finally made the full transition, but just left Dallas got an amazing job in Florida, and all I could think of was like, please don't go there right now. Please don't go there right now.
I mean, I know you don't really have a choice, but wow, that's awful.
Right. Well, that's where they're from. They grew up in Florida, and their mom is in Florida.
So they have some support system at least.
Yeah, they have a support system, and they used to live there and work there, and they got their dream job paying like 3 times what they were making in Dallas. Okay, first off, got to
insulate yourself, find a great family. Yeah,
got a great rental house, 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage for like $1,200. I'm like, when can I move in? But in all seriousness, they won't be able to get their I know. I'm like, when can I move in? And then they're 20 minutes from Disney World. So yeah, TJ's already invited you, Nikki, just so you know.
I'm half an hour from Disneyland, and no one wants to shoot me on the way down there. So
exactly, that's true. But in all seriousness, TJ had to have a conversation with my mom about getting their meds because they won't be able to get them in Florida. So my mom is going to have to get their medication and ship it to them in Florida because right now they can't get what they need to just stay healthy. And that blows my mind between that and book beginning. I'm like, wait, but to me, it's just there's something else that I don't think that we're seeing in general because this is a huge distraction, something that was never an issue. Drag queens were never an issue.
I mean, there definitely were people who like attacked and stuff like that, but it was not it was not a thing that, you know, there weren't news people saying this is disgusting. It wasn't in school board meetings.
Right. Yeah. So there's something else going on that we're not seeing the full agenda on, but I think there's more good in the world. I think there's more love. I just think that we get so polarized by all the social media and the negative and the news. But I really think there's more joy and love out there. And please, please, most people wish they were gay. I mean, I'm not gay.
Well, all the hate just comes from people who are jealous. That's really all that it is. They get locked into this life that they think that everyone tells them that they should have, and they actually hate. And then they see us out there having fun, doing whatever the hell, like open and free and whatever, and they hate it.
People hate what they don't have, or they get jealous of what they wish. See, like I was like, why do people not like me? Because people either really like me or they really don't. And I'm like, oh, I'm a happy person and I'm not worried about you. If you don't like me, guess what? That's cool. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means like we ain't people. That's okay. But you do you. But I'm not gonna wish you any bad luck or anything. But yeah, straight people are boring. You're right, we are. I mean, I guess technically
you're not, Lisa. You're not boring at all.
I'm
kind of boring.
By the way, I'm not crying. Though you're saying amazing things and I'm very moved. I just have allergies. In case anyone's like,
I'm sitting here trying not to wipe my nose because like I'm literally like. yeah, we're right there with you. No, it's totally fine.
It's not allergies, it's depression. No,
depression. Sponsored by Taco Bell. I'm kidding.
Dong.
Great. Now I want to go watch Demolition Man. But no, I'm glad that you shared that. I'm glad that you shared that, Anna, because my mom's an elementary school teacher, and she had that first experience this year with two of her girls. Well, two of her girls want to be referred by a different name and pronouns, but because she was so used to being with TJ.
Sorry, what's Randy doing?
Don't worry about it.
He's like,
I'm listening.
He's ordering his sex doll. Leave him alone. He's like, no.
No, but like, I don't know. I've been to his apartment. There's like, there.
That's what I was
looking at. I'm like,
I was so
over there.
You were just like this.
I know. I was looking for the Blu-ray on my shelf.
He's like, look at my booty. It's good.
Yeah, it really was.
Definitely. I should order a pizza and get probably high and watch this. That sounds amazing.
Oh my God. Let me get an Uber. Alan, I need you to drive me to my gay husband's house. He'd totally do it too. He'd be like, he saw Randy. He was like, Randy's good looking. He's like 2 days in prison.
Can I just say?
2 days.
I was like, oh, okay.
Know. Randy, I was out with a friend who is like, he's one of my best friends, but he is like probably the straightest person I know. I mean, like,
I think you mentioned him.
Like, yes. He was president of a frat and just like, triple athlete and all this stuff. And I said something, and I was talking about the lizard situation that happened in Cabo, and I was just and he'd heard all of your names and everything, and then I was like, oh yeah, here's a picture of me with the lizard on my head, here's a picture of Randy, and then he just went, oh, he said, did you say Randy just had his 40th birthday on the cruise? And he said, yeah, and then he said, Randy's a real good looking man. He just was like, Randy's a real good looking man.
Think straight, dude.
and this is a 25-year-old, so this is someone who's younger than me, actually recognizing. actually recognizing that people can look good.
Why are people so surprised?
I know.
See,
No, but he literally just said, "What is his skincare routine?" and I looked at him,
Gay is my
and
skincare
I looked at him, and I said, "If I find that out for you, will you start doing skincare?" He goes, "No," but like, I was like, "Because you're so straight." but it was funny.
Heels.
I've got a straight friend named Brad. I think you met Brad. Yeah, Nikki, you met Brad.
I met
And
Brad.
he is very frat boy
Yeah.
straight. And
Oh,
he's like, aw. I know
I don't
Randy's
think I think
pretty,
that's the
y'all.
opposite. Like I see
He's
your
a
picture.
pretty
And I think you're
motherfucker.
right
I know. And then he's like the same way. He's like totally bro dude, but then he's like, do your gay friends like me? Do they think I'm good looking? I'm like, what? What does it matter? You're not gay? Does it? Because one of my best friends.
They are
That
very
sounds like
interested in
Brad,
that.
though, from just the brief
They're
moments
very
I met
interested
him.
in that.
It
It's so
does
strange.
sound like
I'm like,
him, though.
It is. He's very much. He's like, well, I mean, but do I look good? Like, would a guy hit on me? I'm like, what?
yeah.
I don't know.
Do you
I'm
wash
not
your
a
face?
dude.
The same friend that I was talking about, I mentioned taking him to a drag show, and he was like, "Oh, he's like, yeah, like he was like, I should know what a drag show is with how much people are talking about." He's like, I should. And I says, I'm like, yeah, it's in a gay club, and then he just like so he goes, "Am I allowed there?" I was like, and
I love that though.
no, it's good. It's like
It's so
but I was
sweet.
also just
It's so sweet.
no, it's very sweet. But I was also like, honey, you're a straight white man. Has anyone ever told you you weren't allowed anywhere in your life?
Oh.
And he was like, and he just stopped and then was like, there was a treehouse
Not
that my
wrong.
sister had. Like, no boy.
That's what it takes. That's how far in here you have to
And
go.
I just cracked up. I mean, he was joking at that point, but I just laughed.
We can get him the shirt. I sent Nikki. I found a shirt that I'm gonna buy that I'm gonna wear every time I go out with Randy and Nikki. It's rainbows. It says token straight friend.
I love it. Please do.
And I'm gonna wear that with my lambda pen, so everyone knows.
You
Like,
know
yeah.
you know who was a straight person that was so sweet and endearing in that way was Aaron Eisenberg. He
Yes.
would talk sometimes at conventions, and he would ask me the same stuff. He'd be like, "I met this gay guy. Is it okay I say that? Like, I don't want to offend you." I'm like, "No, Aaron, I'm gay. Like, it's fine." He's like, "Okay,
Can I just
okay,
say
okay."
how much
Anyway.
I loved Aaron Eisenberg was such a sweet man. And like I just remember like the last conversation I had with him, we were having a breakfast and he was just like talking, he was asking like questions about his son, because he has a son who is mixed race, and there was a guy at the table who was a cop, and he was just kind of like, and there were other people at the table trying to be like, oh, let's discuss like police, and it was just kind of like Aaron was like, I'm not talking about that right now. I want to ask what I can do from a cop's perspective to make sure my son is more safe. Like I understand that, like, and it was very like, he was like, I want to like solve police brutality. Absolutely. He's like, I can't do that at this breakfast table.
Right.
But and it was like, and it was just kind of like, I am a concerned father asking another human being, and it was just like, it was the way you could just tell the love and compassion and empathy from that man was just, it was truly beautiful. And the way he could shut down, people who were losing the plot in situation, because it was just beautiful. But anyway,
this is a true statement. I do feel like this is a true statement about Aaron.
Oh, that's true. I did. I was in a trivia event with him, and he that I randomly won in a raffle, and that I had not bought the tickets for. The raffle ticket. It was someone else who kind of volunteered.
She never buys tickets.
They bought raffle tickets for something.
Raffle.
It was at this Albany convention that was a mess. Anyway,
some raffles go on forever and no one ever gets a prize.
But anyway, so
the opposite.
This person had bought raffle tickets like ahead of time, and then they ended up volunteering for the convention. So they were like, "Oh, it'd be wrong for me to participate in the raffle." And we just talked at a previous panel, and they said, "Here's your raffle tickets." And I had no idea what the raffle was for. And next thing I know, my number was called, and I was next to Aaron Eisenberg to do trivia as his teammate.
Oh, that's amazing.
And we were getting crushed by the guy who was on. I mean, I knew stuff, but I didn't know it as well as the guy who was on the same team as the Now Visitor.
Oh.
And then there was one thing. It was like, where's
Is this your oops state answer? Like you knew where
Oh
this
yeah.
one
When
locate, like, this
one of the
city
questions was like,
was?
"Where's Captain Archer from?" And I'm like, "I know it's Schenectady, because it has to be Schenectady." Because people had guessed, I didn't know for sure, but I knew people had guessed other cities, and I was like, just from being from upstate New York, it has to be Schenectady. And the entire time, I'm like Schenectady. But Aaron was like trash talking the other team.
Oh, that's so
And so he didn't hear.
funny.
I'm like, Schenectady, because he has to buzz in. And then
Right.
when we didn't buzz in time, and then he just said, "All right, audience," and the whole audience said Schenectady. He'd already clocked who my dad and my sister were. And he says, your family knew what you did. And I said, I did. I told you to
And
press
you
the
had
button.
really
Schenectady."
said.
And then Nana says, "You did. I heard you." And then he just turns like, "You shut up, traitor." So funny.
Oh my god.
There was some question. It was like, "Oh, Spock's. This is the Konaman. Like, what does it mean in Judaism?" And Aaron turns and he goes, "Are you Jewish?" And I say, "Not a good one." And he goes, "Yeah, me neither." And we both are just like, and so we ended up like guessing something that's like what the dreidel translates to. We put that
Oh my
on there.
goodness.
And even though we knew it was wrong, because we were like, all right, the host's last name isn't Jewish. So if we get mad enough, we might be able to be like, no, we know.
No, it's that. Are you Jewish? Do you know?
You don't know.
Oh my god.
Was your
You're
dad
like,
in the audience doing this?
That's funny. Oh god. Oh god.
That's my daughter.
And my dad, on my dad's side, we're Irish Catholic. It's on my mom's side. So
Oh.
my dad is just like, could be. Could be right.
Sure knows.
My sister's dying laughing. She's like, Anna doesn't know this at all.
Threw you under the bus.
Oh,
my goodness,
so
I'm sorry.
funny.
Yeah, Aaron was he was just an absolute sweetheart and a ball buster. Yes.
Yes.
We went hardcore on that trip and got second place. So, but there were 3
Respectable.
teams.
Oh. Well,
Hey,
we're at last.
We're last.
Weren't last, like we were for our door decorations on the cruise.
We weren't last. We just didn't. They just
So
didn't.
we didn't even get an honorable mention. What the
That was
hell?
ridiculous.
Like I
Well,
get
y'all
that we maybe were
That's- we got
disqualified because
last.
we had 2 doors, right? Okay,
We got
I
disqualified
get
because
it.
we were so good.
That's what
We're
I'm
too
guessing
good.
is why we
We're
got
too good.
disqualified or we didn't get anything. But
Oh, it was still amazing. If you saw it, say something about it. If you
Well, I
saw
heard
If
the
you see
fans
something,
for
say
it.
something.
Say something. I heard the fans were amazing. So Nikki's like,
Yeah.
"You wait, we're gonna win." I was like, "Okay."
I
I
definitely.
didn't know y'all were last. man.
We looked at other doors
Well,
and I
we
was
don't
like,
actually know. We
I
just
was like-
weren't
Yeah, we
on the list.
everybody.
We're meant to
When they were
nowhere,
they were doing the prep and they were telling me about it, I was like, that sounds great. And then we were setting up and I'm like, that's insane. This is great. But I was like, I'd never been on the cruise before, so I was like, I don't know how good these are gonna be. And then I'm looking at the other doors and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna win. I got so like, we're gonna win.
I
Jamil
know.
is
had
also
so
on
many-
our
I'm
socials.
telling you.
We
Yeah.
had so many people telling us how much they loved our door. We had the guy who cleaned our
People's
room
Choice Award.
was literally like talking up
Oh.
our door to every
Yes.
other person he saw.
Shout out to
Like,
Gyro. He was our
Gyro!
Gyro was
Gyro.
the greatest man alive.
Oh my god.
I would
Oh
die
my
for
God.
Gyro.
Man, I hope you had a good time back at home seeing your family, Gyro.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
He was like, I get to see my family again after
know,
months.
poor
'cause
guy.
He's been
I
at sea
know.
for so
He's
long.
been at sea for so long, yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, and then
Come
was
on the
just like-
cruise, by the way.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, we're gonna win, and
Yeah.
just nothing, no mention, no
No.
place, no honorable mention.
Aw.
There was someone else
No.
put up another fan put up like a random list of like 50 my top 50 doors, and we weren't even
Still
on
not
it.
on it.
It's like,
Damn.
here's one with 3 stickers. I was like, what? Like, I
We
mean,
were-
sure, good for you, but what?
There
We
was so
are
much effort.
featured, however, on
Yes.
like Star Trek StarTrekTheCruise.com, like when they post all the pictures from the cruise.
Yeah, we're the picture when you click to
We're
go
the
to like
thumbnail.
Doors pictures.
Right,
We're the
right.
thumbnail. Don't
We're
know if
in
that
the-
was
We got
random
that.
or by choice.
Right.
I
I mean,
think it
maybe
was
that
just
was
like-
what we wanted.
because
Yeah.
but that's a different entity, right? So that's
I have
ECP.
no idea.
So
It was
the actual
so-
cruise is run
yeah.
by ECP. StarTrek.com was the one doing the
Yeah.
like list
It
or
was
whatever.
just
And then
so
the actual
funny.
like
okay.
picking of the
Like-
winners, I don't know if that was StarTrek.com.
We were like,
or if
and
that
for
was
next
CBS or
year,
who
it's
knows.
gonna be even more insane, and we're gonna win again.
Still
And
gonna
it's just-
lose.
We don't care anymore.
We
Like,
don't care. It's
Nikki
still
doesn't
gonna be
care.
awesome.
Nikki's just like, we're doing it
Doesn't
for ourselves
care.
and doing it for
It
the
was
fans.
so
Don't
funny.
care.
And
Randy's
Lisa,
getting
if you
woken up
do
in the middle of the
come-
night with people
I
pushing
know,
my
banging
God,
on the
big
door.
sound.
Yeah.
Here's
and we're
about
like,
it.
it's gonna be worth it to win.
Lisa, if you do come,
Nothing.
we are conscripting you. We're actually just voluntelling you or voluntelling you that we're going to use your door. We're just going to give you all the stuff and we'll help you set it up. But like
yeah,
your door is going to be part
Even
of
if
the
it's on a
thing.
totally different floor,
different deck.
Well, that's better. That's
Yeah.
better.
It's
Okay.
actually
you're
better.
gonna get a door.
We're
We're
just
gonna
like
get a door.
You're
We're
gonna get a
literally,
door
like,
that's gonna
pulling
come
in our
dead
friends.
last, and you're gonna
Yeah.
love
Dead
it. You're gonna be
last.
grateful.
I'm just gonna put the picture of the stairs and let everybody figure out what that means to me.
It's
My
gonna.
board stairs.
Yeah, sure.
More stairs.
It's like,
Mickey
listen.
Ezra board stairs. It's just
Oh my
Honestly,
gosh.
we're gonna.
Oh, I wonder if somebody's going to do a red door. Okay. That
Of
would
course
be
they
good. That's
are.
not our idea, but that's actually good because Ed
Okay.
Spaliers will be on the boat.
That's true.
So
Well, so was Jonathan Frakes, and he didn't see our door, so.
And ours said directed.
You did see our costumes, so.
you did see our costumes.
Yeah,
Your
we
costumes
saw
were
him.
amazing.
We look at him and we go, "You directed this," and he just goes, and he just goes, "Oh," and then at first he was like, "What?" Saw it, and went, "Oh," and then
He did kind of laugh as he walked away.
He did
though.
laugh.
He
He was just
laugh.
kind of like, but it was very much.
God.
He was giving the vibe of like, "Oh God, not that episode." It was so
Oh, yes.
funny.
It's that one. It's that one.
Sex
Oh,
scandal.
so good.
I've
Oh,
shown.
that's
so
great.
I have friends who've never seen other Star Trek Next Gen, and I've shown them just that episode.
Perfect.
He
That's all you need to see. It wraps up the whole
They
thing.
did.
Well, it's like I have kind of like mentally I have like a list of like what's a good episode for certain friends, you know, because it's like,
Sure.
oh, is
Yeah.
this a friend? Is this like a friend who's looking for good
Right.
drama? Okay, you're gonna
You
watch
actually
like,
have a sense
Drumhead.
of humor.
You're gonna like watch like you know, or like
watch Measure of a
this is
Man. Yeah.
or like yeah,
The
or
only
is-
episode that exists in the season we don't talk about that doesn't exist.
Right.
Measurement very good. Or like
It's the
Do
only episode, really.
do I
Exactly. Elevator shaft.
is this a friend who's just here for memes? Then they're gonna see Sub Rosa. They're gonna see Fistful of Datas. They're gonna see like they're just gonna
Potatoes.
see
I love that word.
like high meme content.
Yes.
If you're a cat owner, you're gonna see some Data episode.
There you
Aw,
go.
like-
Spot.
I
And
came back.
Fistful of Datas, it's on there just because of the amount of friends I now have who are cat owners who don't watch a lot of Star Trek, but will say to their cat, "Vamoose, you little varmint." So important to varmint.
Just turning them one at a time. I love it. Whatever it takes to get them sucked in, it's totally fine.
Listen,
No matter how
no matter
ridiculous.
the cost.
Maybe if they're like super stoners, you show a mask. What did I just watch?
They'll be like, "That was
I don't
deep.
know.
That
I
was
don't know.
deep."
That was deep. Yes, it was.
Honestly, yeah. If you like someone who's like into like definitely just like they're like, "Oh, is it like X-Files?" You show that episode
Yes,
where
there
they're
you
go.
probed.
Right.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
that
no.
one.
It's the one where there's like the table and they're like, "It's a probing table."
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's a good-
Schisms?
yeah.
Schisms, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I was just reading something about schisms this week, and someone was saying, which I thought was really cool. Like, you know how we always talk about like how the fuck is the holodeck creating these random ass tables that don't look anything
yeah.
like the one? But their
Yeah.
answer was, think about how we generate AI art today, and
Yeah.
you say whatever, and it comes up with this thing that it thinks that you want. And so
Yeah.
they said that's the like equivalent of AI art is the holodeck's
Yeah.
like, oh, I kind of get what you're talking about. Here's this. So it's not exactly as the last one looked. It's like learning as you're like going.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
a really good point.
deep.
That's a really
It's
good
actually
point.
it's machine
using
learning.
AI.
It's
It's
AI.
not. Yeah. So it's
By the
guessing
way, if
as it goes along. So
anyone who's interested in like ethics of AI and stuff, there's a really good book called The Alignment Problem that goes into a lot of like different things and like machine learning, and like one of the things that's discussed is like, oh, you taught like self-driving cars how to use hi Aaron, you taught self-driving cars how to not hit people based on white crash test dummies. Well, now it will hit black people, and it will hit but also like it'll hit children
Yeah.
because it doesn't
Great.
recognize that size.
Right.
It'll hit
Well, I'm okay with that.
it'll hit pregnant women. But like it's gonna hit pregnant women because it's like, well, that's not the right shape, and how
Right.
just like the concept of like
Right.
people being like, oh, I gave something unbiased data, and it's like actually
Right.
you
You
didn't.
You did.
Right.
And and there was like some Amazon hiring process that they tried to make AI, but they
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
be like,
Oh,
don't
yes.
use race and stuff like that. But then it was like, okay, the name John, and it was they ended up spitting
Yes.
out that the ideal candidate had the name John
Right.
and was like
Right.
had like played lacrosse and gone
Right.
to an
Yes.
Ivy League school, or like,
Right.
and it was
Right.
just kind of
Something
like
has a gazebo in the backyard. Like
yeah,
it's like
like things
Jesus
like that
Christ.
where it's
Like
like
how do you?
it was like it is from Connecticut or something, you know?
I was about to say
Jesus
we're from the
Christ.
north.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and just
Oh, yeah,
like
but
all these different things
Right.
that like so that book, The Alignment
It was
Problem, for people who are
emergent, but it was
interested.
because of the data that they were feeding. It wasn't fair.
Exactly,
that's
and
crazy.
yeah, it's a very good book.
I
And
have to. I love that. I mean, I love that you shared that because I remember explaining to people how sometimes I had trouble washing my hands, and they're like, "What do you mean?" And the sensors couldn't read my skin
Yeah.
tone,
yeah,
and
Right.
I'm light
Yeah.
skinned,
Yeah.
and or I would
Yeah.
go in rooms and the lights wouldn't come on. If you've ever seen,
Yeah.
because it didn't know.
Oh my
My
god.
vampire.
I had a job where they had sensors and they had to come and change them because it couldn't sense me when I went
Oh my
in the
God,
stock
so
room.
bad.
Wait,
Oh
what?
my god.
Wait, what show was that? There was a show that like had an episode where that
You're
happened.
thinking about Ted. It's I can't think of the name of it. Oh God. But yeah, it was they
Yeah.
tested all these crazy things, and literally that episode where
Yeah.
they had sensors. It was the same thing. I swear to
Yeah.
God. And they hired white people to follow the black people around. And then
Oh my god.
because the sensors
God.
wouldn't work.
so that to
God,
make
that's
things
so
work.
bad.
And then they were like, "Oh, this is a race issue, so now we have to hire." Or like, no, because this is a problem because now we've created a job where we're only hiring white people, so
White
now we
people.
have to hire. So that's
Black
racist.
people.
So now we have to hire
Like
black
3
people to
people.
follow around white people, and then it's like, and eventually, yeah, and
And they're like-
eventually
they're
they
like-
have a board meeting, and the guy
Like-
and the white guy who's been trying to get them to get rid of these sensors, the only way that he gets through to them to be like, we need to get rid of this, is that he's just like, so then we have to hire black people to follow that, and then white people is like, and quite frankly, we don't have the parking for that. He's like, but so I've come up with for all those new employees.
Parking for that.
I love that show, but yeah,
Parking.
that actually happened to me in one of the
Wow.
Cinemark storerooms.
Yeah.
When I would go to do inventory, the lights wouldn't come on, so I had to use
Oh my
I'd
God.
use my phone.
That's
or I had
horrible.
to send the kids in. They're like,
Yeah.
"Lock me out! I got the door open for you." I'm like, "Just stay here. Give me a few minutes." And it was just it was a mess. And then sure enough, it was one of the
Yeah.
episodes. And we were like, "Yeah, that actually happened." So it's weird. It's funny now, but yeah, I used to like it's not working because it can't. Right here. Right here. See me.
Yeah. And that's like the kind of stuff that like hopefully, you know, the Federation has figured out. Like no one, no, I will say in all the bloopers, can I just say in all the bloopers that they had, especially like the bloopers from original series where they're like walking into doors and stuff, I've never seen one of Nichelle Nichols walking into the door. She's way too graceful. She's way too graceful for that shit.
Nope. Okay.
Just slide.
Oh, Nichelle.
Can yeah, oh my God. Can I Well, one of my favorite things about those bloopers is that the actors don't know if those things are gonna open. And
yeah, because it's just some guy with a rope.
and to make it believable,
Right.
they have to walk forward as if they know it's gonna open.
Of
So
course,
the
you can't
bloopers
stop.
are
Yeah.
so the bloopers are them fully crashing it.
Right.
And
Right.
it's
Right.
really just the best thing ever.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Because on the real Starship, it would actually know that you're there. But in
Yeah.
real life, somebody
Yeah.
looks away for a second or
Yeah.
whatever, and like,
Honestly,
pull
it
the
would be great if they did like an episode where there's like a new species that they've encountered, and and it's just like, sorry, doesn't figure. It's kind of like how they had that
That'd be
moment
right.
that they had that moment in Deep Space Nine where there was the species from the Gamma Quadrant that the Universal Translator had to take a little bit longer to learn its language.
Yeah. Because it couldn't
Ooh.
quite get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that it was having like issues with like the syntax of the language and stuff.
Right.
And then like if they had done, if it was just kind of like, yo, we don't know what.
See them. Like maybe there's some like new gelatinous.
Yeah,
They're goo
Yeah.
people. They're
yeah.
goo,
The
goo
changelings.
residue.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
Which I was having this conversation. Who was I having? Lisa, were we having this conversation? I was having this conversation recently about, it's in regards to Picard, about how, why do the changelings all like Bajoran trash
Yeah.
buckets? Like waste buckets. Yeah.
Wait,
Was it you and I that were
Right.
having this conversation?
Yeah, it was. We started having the conversation, but we didn't finish it. So you're like, why
Yeah.
did they pick this?
So,
Yeah, they really
Wait,
well made
what?
it.
so the question, so in Picard, when
Yeah.
Seven has to go find the changeling, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh, she
tells
talks
them-
Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
and he's like, they gotta put like go find his bucket, right?
Bucket,
Like go
yeah.
find the bucket.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
literally
It's
Odo's
Odo's.
bucket.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
That's probably, you know
do
what?
the
That's
changelings all like Bajoran trash?
you know
cans?
what? That's definitely another biased data thing. That's kind of
Right.
like the one changeling we were able to talk to liked
Right.
this,
Bajoran
so
bucket.
all changelings
Yeah.
must like
Like
You know,
this.
Bajoran
all
bucket.
changelings,
It's like-
if they wanna,
It's like how all like it's all about like how all like heart attack symptoms that people traditionally know about are all about men's symptoms rather than
Right.
Not
women's
women's.
symptoms and
Women's
things
are
like that.
different.
So it's
Yeah.
because like the majority of changelings, they like to just vibe in the Great Link. They don't do buckets.
Right.
right.
They
But the only
vibe.
one we've ever known with a bucket
Yeah, they
had a Bajoran
maybe
bucket.
they use the Jorge, sex
Yeah.
candle holder for some of them. Who knows?
Yeah. Anaphasic life form. There's
Mhm.
no reason
Right.
Ronan isn't a changeling. Because we know. New conspiracy
Here
unlocked.
we go.
Because-
I mean, he
'Cause
was on Earth like in the whatever
Okay.
'Cause
whatever year
doesn't-
it was.
doesn't
How'd he
mean
turn
it
into
couldn't be
energy,
years
though?
prior.
because we know that the one changeling in, was it Chimera on the episode, Chimera or whatever, in the episode of Deep Space Nine where he meets the other changeling that was like like him, an offspring, that it can turn into fog, like he can turn into like mist and stuff.
Oh.
So like
Oh, I forgot about that.
But Ronan is like energy because he has to travel through the like energy beam.
Yeah, and he needs
he was
a
a mist, he could still just
host,
go out into
an
space.
organic host. What is it?
Maybe
he needs an
he can
organic
do
host
that.
to maintain
He does
molecular
know. He says he
cohesion.
can't. He has to go. He talks about it. He said, "I have to go through the energy stream." He does say that.
interesting.
Unless
I need
he
to
is
watch the episode again.
Or
and
maybe-
pay
unless
close
yeah,
he's
this-
fully merged. Well, no, unless
I'm sorry, I'm
unless-
never able. There's always a new detail about Sub Rosa that makes me laugh.
So wait, I was
important.
going to say something, but now I don't know. So I was going to say the only other way I think was if he was fully merged with somebody else. But now we don't know because we never saw Nana using a transporter.
Hashtag Anna's probably high.
Right.
I'm unfortunately stone cold sober
Nope.
right now.
Anna doesn't.
I don't partake.
cannabis.
No, I don't.
Oh, wow.
I drink.
Oh.
Yesterday, I was at a
Fish.
mimosa margarita.
But your dad's not there to like bring you wine. That's what
I
we
know.
do.
Oh, that's
I
right.
know.
Oh, but your
Say,
internet
like,
works. Oh, trade
Yeah,
off.
Lisa. At some
Trade
point,
off.
Lisa. At some point, you'll be on a stream where my dad just walks in and hands me a drink.
Yes.
I love
Because
it.
sometimes he'll be watching our streams. It's really cute. He'll be like watching a mobile, so that way he's not, interrupting the
Aw.
Wi-Fi. He'll be in another room. He'll be watching streams. He'll notice that everyone else has a drink, and then he'll get me one and be like, "You're not drinking." It's really sweet.
Baby,
My-
I got you a Guinness.
honestly, I have the best parents in the world. They're gonna be
Aw.
at Star
I still
Trek
haven't
Long.
met
They're
them.
gonna be at Star Trek Long Island.
Oh, I can't. I have a.
And I'm
But
gonna
also
be
come to my
there.
show.
Sure.
Yes.
If you're in LA, come to my show. Hold on.
I mean,
I'm gonna send myself there.
don't be weird around my parents if you meet them. Be random people on the internet.
Ew.
Just let
yes.
I mean,
Oh, no,
they know
yeah.
about Lambda Quadrant and stuff like that. They watch streams, but don't just be like, "Oh, you're the parents. Are we friends now?" That's a parasocial relationship.
True.
You don't know them?
That's true.
Back off.
I made a webisode about that
Parasocial relationships is real.
with a celebrity, yeah, because I saw
Yeah.
Molly Shannon one time at Starbucks, and I was
Oh
like, I
my
know
God,
her, and I
I've
was
seen
like,
those
nope,
ones.
I don't know her. Yeah.
Those websites are hilarious.
Oh
I
yeah.
Oh,
think
yeah.
like 2 or 3 of them, right? But they're
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
You
yeah.
should do more.
They're fun,
Is
they're
that
fun.
the same one where you did the Barbie color change thing?
No, that's different.
Okay.
These are
That was-
scripted. That was just
Oh.
the drug. These are. I was
No,
sober.
there's
for
another
this.
one where like you're at a cafe and you think you see Reese Witherspoon, right? Is it
Oh, I
Reese
saw that one.
Yes.
I need to see these.
They're funny,
They're
Lisa.
fun,
You would
they're fun.
enjoy it.
I
All
wrote
right.
them just because I was bored.
I hope people are enjoying this unhinged. Like, we had no topic. We just were like, "Hey,
Well,
Lisa's
We
here
never
now."
do.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
we could play
I
Jackbox, but
have-
I can't put it up. Randy could, but I don't know.
Come see my show.
Okay,
Sorry, I was looking for the graphic.
Yeah,
Come
perfect.
see my
Yeah,
show.
that's
Drag
perfect.
Queens. It's important. I'm doing tech. I'm not
Yeah.
in the show,
Oh my
but I'm running
God.
tech for it. So
It's-
if you're in LA, that means you can't go to those other things that are in other cities like Long Island. So please come to our
It's
show.
not the same weekend as Long Island Comic Con.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Well, great
No.
then.
No.
Long Island
Oh,
Comic
come to my
Con's the
show
weekend
either way.
after.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
No, that's
Oh
my
my gosh.
It's
birthday
the
weekend,
weekend of
though.
my birthday, but I won't be there.
Wait,
But it's also
Yeah,
David
when's
when's your
Ajala's
birthday, Nikki?
The 21st. We've had this conversation.
Oh, the Long Island one. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about
Long
that.
Island.
Okay, because
No.
I was like, it's the weekend of my birthday.
No,
And I was
that's the
confused
weekend
because I
of
thought it
your
was the
birthday.
21st.
No, you're the 14th.
Yeah.
I'm the 21st.
We're 70s apart.
I know.
Oh my
and
God.
and a lot of extra years. Like
No,
I also am turning
Wait a
40
minute. Don't even
this
talk
year.
about it. We're not supposed to talk about that.
I was like, let's not talk
Makes
about
everyone
it.
feel old.
Okay.
I'm throwing. I'm sorry. You're gonna feel old to a second, but because I'm turning 27, I'm throwing a Regency themed birthday party because of that moment in Pride and Prejudice where she's like, "I'm 27, with no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents, and I'm frightened.
Oh.
So don't you judge me, Lizzie." And so I was like, time to throw
Perfect.
a Regency themed birthday
Oh my
party.
God,
I
that's so
love
Burden
good.
to my parents.
Love it. Yes,
Well, I'm-
yes.
Hey, I
Yes,
was
yes,
living
yes.
in Manhattan until COVID. Now I'm back home with my parents. Got
Oops,
no
dude.
money and no prospects. And I'm already a burden to my parents.
parents.
And quite frankly, I am frightened.
A handbag.
That is importance to being earnest, but I appreciate
Yes.
that too.
I just
Oh,
that
on
whole
my God,
it was
also volunteer.
handbag.
And also
a perfectly ordinary handbag.
I haven't watched that in forever.
Oh my god, I love Importance to Being Earnest. I first saw Importance to Being Earnest, a live production that had Brian Bedford in full drag playing that lady, the old lady.
Oh,
Brian
That's who's been
Bedford,
playing
most people know him as the voice of Robin Hood from Disney's Robin Hood. Ooh, delally! And that, so I have that as an old lady just going go handbag.
A
Perfectly ordinary
handbag.
And I, yes, every time someone in my family like forgot to pick up like milk or something, it's like, oh, where's that? We just go, there was no milk at market today, even for ready money. Like we like to keep
Even
up
for
with,
ready
like, even for ready money.
I haven't got a pittance in my pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Don't call me Jane, call me sister. I just,
My God.
oh.
When
When are we doing so guys, when are we doing the full drag show of Importance of Being Earnest? I would
Ask Randy.
I
as
would
soon
love
as,
to
like-
be in a drag king Algernon.
There you go.
Amazing. I did
Amazing.
terribly. I did okay for me, but heels are bad news. But I did
I'm
it,
there.
and I don't want to have to do it again.
I just found out that I was a totally different shoe size than I thought I was for all these years.
Bigger or smaller?
I'm just smaller. So it turns out that I have. Oh, Wiki Feet's gonna love this. I am an 8.5 wide.
Oh, wide.
But
Okay.
because I was wide, I I overcorrected, and I was wearing 10s.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm also flat. Well, I'm also flat-footed, and I was like just sticking cheap arch supports in there, and that was like another thing. And then I went to Fleet Feet, where they have like a foot scanner. They you put in, they scan your feet, and they're like, this is the size of your foot. And then they're like, that's not what you should be wearing though. You should be wearing a shoe that's larger than your foot. It doesn't make sense to wear the same. And then they were like, also you have like this kind of ankle and you have this kind of arch needs, and then they like went into it. And I was very skeptical at first because I was like, this is just some trendy stuff to sell me more things. And then I put on the shoes and was like, oh, I did not know how much my feet hurt until I felt good, because I knew it hurt. Like, you guys remember on the cruise, I was like, I have to change my shoes.
Or like after when we were trying to walk to the car.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And I was
I felt so bad for you,
like,
Anna. But
and I literally just sat in the parking lot. I was like,
but
I can't do
sure
this,
enough
guys.
let you go.
Like,
I feel real bad, but you know what? Hell with you. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'll help you find your way.
It was valid. No, I was like, go.
I love you, but I'm gone, girl. I love you, but I'm gone. I can't do this.
my feet were.
just kept walking.
I just kept walking. I was like, I'll stay and make sure Anna doesn't die. You're like, all right, whatever you do, you.
At the end of the cruise, my feet were killing me. I just end up on the ground, sitting in the middle of the parking lot, and I'm just like,
Megan's like, take you later.
No, it wasn't like a moment where it was not like a moment where I just was like, oh, I gotta stop and like catch my breath. I was on the ground and I was like, my feet are like done.
I didn't know that.
No, you're fine. But so that is part of what inspired me to be like, that's what inspired me to be like, I need to invest in like better arch support. So I went to the store and then they're like, well, let's scan your feet. And they're like, you're wearing the wrong shoes.
If you had any incidents recently where you had to stop moving completely because
I was like, oh yeah.
I'm like, fair. I was probably running a fever, and I had COVID. Didn't know that it was COVID.
You had like
I just was like, COVID. I can't.
You had COVID. I was in a cabin sleeping next to Nikki with COVID. And then I was like, yeah, and then I'm gonna be staying in your apartment. I'm gonna stay for like the weekend. We're gonna have a great time in LA. And then we're all testing, and I was fine. Our friend Yvette was fine.
Oh, well, you were the last one to test. So Randy's goes first, and he's like, and it like lit up, right? Like, right away. He's like, oh, I'm positive. And mine, I like turned to look. The like thing hadn't even gotten to the control line. It was just like the test line.
It was just like, girl, you got cold.
And I was like, oh,
it's like, why are you even trying this? I don't understand you. I'm not even gonna make you wait. Just go.
Yvette was clear. And she suddenly like, and as once where it's like, oh, like once Randy was like, oh, I've got COVID. Yvette is on the other side of the apartment, like, you got what now?
We have a 480 square foot like studio apartment, so we are trying to space out as much as you can in here, which isn't that much space.
Yeah, and then I'm
immediately like, as soon as Randy's like, oh, I tested positive, Anna like hops up, goes to her bag, gets her masks and shit.
I'm just like
sits down on the couch and is like, I'm going to follow all of the directions because I do not want this to screw up, and I need to know for sure. So she like read all the instructions for the test.
Yeah, because I was like, let's just, and then I didn't have COVID, and then Yvette and I were both supposed to stay later, and then Yvette and I just Ubered to the airport with our masks on, and we're just
and then Nikki
flight.
Knew how it felt. She's like, oh, this is what happens when somebody just leaves you to die.
Yes.
It was like, and that was the other thing. So I'm in the airport. United has like a help desk, and I go to the United help desk. I'm like, hey, can you help me? I need to like move my flight up a couple days. And she just goes, there's a phone number you can call. And I'm like, why do you?
Yeah, but you're right here.
And My phone is dying. Like I don't have a like my charger was like packed away, and I'm just because I hadn't packed for flying. I had packed for staying.
Right.
You know, so I'm like digging. I am on the floor now in the airport digging. My feet are killing me. And then I just text my mom because I'm like, hey mom, guess what? Your job is to figure this out because I don't have the phone battery. Like, and I need, and I'm like, and then I find my charger, can't find an outlet anywhere. Like,
of course,
where it is. And then eventually but I had enough phone battery that she said, like, okay, I was able to move it to here. So all you need is to like go to the thing. And then I go to the desk and I'm like, hey, so can you just give me this thing? And then she's just like, you can call and do that. And I'm like, no, bitch.
What is your function here? What is your function?
Like, can I speak to your manager, please? Thanks.
I almost coughed on her, ma'am. I was like, I might have coughed. No, I didn't. I didn't.
She would have deserved it. You'd be like,
but no,
oh my God.
no, I was like, eventually she like looked it up and then she was like, oh, but this is through Travelocity. And I literally said to her, I do not care. I said just like, I do not care.
Figure it out.
On the plane or not?
I was like, and then it ended up working out. I ended up being able to fly out. And then because I was being very responsible, I was back home, but I was just quarantining away from my parents and I was testing every day for like 5 days straight. And I was fine. I didn't have it. But it was wild. But anyway, come to the cruise, guys.
You'll get
I promise we won't leave you for dead.
That was like one of the main things I did in the survey. I was like, please do rapid testing before everyone boards.
Ooh, I know, right?
Because like, even though that's not foolproof, please do it. Because someone had COVID and brought it on.
Clearly. Because there were people getting sick like 2 days in.
2 days in. 2 days in. There was someone.
Somebody knew they had COVID.
Somebody
and
knew
like,
they had COVID, and they're like, "Oh well, they're not checking. I guess I'm good. Don't do that either."
Yeah,
I paid too much money. I'm going anyway.
Exactly.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it was, somebody was like, "Oh, I tested positive. They're quarantining me for the rest."
So you get quarantined for the rest of the
kind enough to put it on their Facebook page.
Yeah, that person was very But
which also, there's no way for anyone to see that because they don't give you any way to actually talk to people.
Yeah.
Really?
No
Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is okay.
There's Wi-Fi, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's no like central bulletin board, or there's no like central anything. So if you weren't
they don't have like
Facebook
an app
friends
where
with
they
that girl,
keep you up to date. Like, hey,
there's an app, but you can't like post something publicly. So you have to know the people. So it's like, if I don't know that lady, I would never know.
Yeah, because it's a chartered cruise, right? Like the Star Trek cruise is a chartered cruise. It's a they use Royal Caribbean as the cruise line, so you use the Royal Caribbean app, but it's not everything is super functional that gets used for the actual Star Trek cruise. Right. So you can use the messaging system, but it's also not the greatest.
It barely worked.
It barely worked in the Royal Caribbean app. So by that point, we just used the Wi-Fi and it was fine.
You're shouting down the hallway. Jared! Hey, did your door win?
Bring out your dad!
No! It didn't win at all!
Were you on the
Bring
list?
out your dad!
No! We weren't on an honorable mention. Also, that one guy that did like 50 doors, not there either.
You guys know Gyro? He's awesome.
Gyro's the best.
All your money and win dick.
Oh my God!
And I hope they bring back DJ Storm.
DJ Storm.
Oh, I love
DJ Storm.
I love her so much.
We also we
loved
loved her.
Had so much fun.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying
No, she was wonderful. That, and we also bonded on that tequila.
Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, on our
the tequila tour from hell.
We've already told the story on camera. We won't again.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to know that story, go watch our live stream back in April.
Where we talked, like cruise
March.
live stream.
So watch our live stream back from March.
I just still to this. So now, because on my regular commute, there's a Home Depot, and now every time I just go, there's a Home Depot. Because he was just, Lisa, this man, like, we are passing American companies, but I would love to know the history of the place, at least if he's giving a tour. Nothing about the history of Puerto Vallarta, nothing, and he's just like, there's a Home Depot, there's a Sam's Club. We're like, why
are
are
you in America? We're
This
like,
used to be a birthing home for unwed mothers. Now it's an apartment.
It's an apartment building.
What does that even mean?
Well, there's like cool stuff on the left-hand side, but he's
What's
like,
a wait? I want to know about the birthing home. Like, what was happening there? Like, why? Like, at least tell me that.
Okay, I can't wait to take this cruise.
And then we went to the Candyman bathroom.
Well, it'll be different. It's going to be different next time because it's going out of Florida.
Right.
Well, it's going down to where are we going? Curacao and Aruba.
Jamaica.
Definitely Curacao.
And then I want to take you.
And Anna is frozen. Anna is frozen.
Of course.
Oh, she is frozen. I thought she was just really excited and had Botox.
I'm back.
Are you? Oh, there she is. Whoa, what a swim. Yes. We do movie quotes too, and by we I mean me, and no one gets them.
Yeah. I know. I'll do Importance of Being Earnest quotes. Or Pride and Prejudice.
That's
the other thing. I was talking to my sister about like, and I think
Aruba.
I was like, end of the evening for my party, we'll watch a movie. And Maria's like, show Pride and Prejudice, and I was like, I don't really want to watch Pride and Prejudice. That's like it's not the vibe of like a party.
Right.
Like,
right. I just like the joke.
Oh, bye, Lisa.
Bye, Lisa.
Uh-oh. Devices not connected.
She was like, she's like, we're not watching Pride and Prejudice. Bye.
Right. I do have to go soon though.
Yeah, but
I ordered a pizza.
You're gonna watch
like Angela Bassett from the net. I did it on my computer. I am gonna watch Demolition Man. I'm gonna get high and live tweet Demolition Man. Stay tuned for that.
That sounds fun. Yeah, we should. But yeah, so people, if you want to hear more about the Tequila Tour from Hell, watch one of our old live streams.
Yeah.
If you want to see, Callie and I will both be at Trek Long Island, where we don't have a booth. Yes. We're actually gonna like live as people who get to go to panels.
Speaking of
Kelly!
Perfection.
Yeah, we'll be there just walking around. But we have security that looks like normal nerds, so don't attack us.
What does that
mean? We don't expect. No, I just like to. Whenever as a young woman, whenever I say like, "Oh, this is where my location is," I suddenly get paranoid, so that I just lie and say I have security. You just can't see them. Lisa, you came back at a great time.
No, I heard the
security guards.
I heard the whole thing.
Okay,
great. I had to pause to take a phone call.
Oh, I see. That's
sorry.
very fair. That's very that's smart.
Oh, good.
That totally makes sense. We're doing wrap-ups.
We'll do wrap-ups.
Anyone thoughts? What's coming up? Oh, so we'll be at STLV, of course. We're gonna have new merch, of course. I do have another secret new merch that I'm working on that no one has seen yet. I told Nikki today. I don't want to announce it until I'm ready for it, but I think it's gonna be really fun.
Is it Sea Witch Ronin?
I don't know what that is, but I
remember on our Sub Rosa stream we talked about how Ursula is also an anaphasic life form.
Yes. And we did take a picture underwater with you and I. So
do you make another? We just make a figurine of Ronin on the top and then just octopus spot. Hey, if you want a sober person to come up with ideas that sound like she was high, you've come to me.
I have to say on the Star Trek The Cruise, the website, like they have this video playing, and I love how because they have the opening like meet and greet and big giant panel or whatever that's on the deck of the boat. Clearly not from this past year because it was raining.
Right.
Very hard that day,
Yeah.
and they like skipped
Speaking
it. They're
of
like, yeah,
things
we're
they
not gonna
didn't
go
write,
out on the deck of the
and that
boat.
was the
Yeah.
port. That wasn't Star Trek. That was the port. But oh my god,
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
LA.
They
that
had
was just. I mean,
like,
that was weather.
they stuck us under this little like flimsy tent that was like. We were like, what is going? They're like, oh, just leave your luggage out in the rain. We'll take it. I was like, what do you mean?
And
Yeah,
also,
poor LA was
also
really
my
It was a
luggage
hot
had
mess.
been pre-soaked by American Airlines before,
It
because
was real
remember
wet.
I landed. They delayed the
Yeah.
flight overnight. It was a
Yeah.
whole
Yes.
thing, and
They
then
picked you up from the
and
airport on the way
yeah,
down.
and Nikki's like, all right, go. I'll be able, and I was like, they still have not even started putting luggage on the baggage carousel. We waited for 2 hours just for the baggage to get on the carousel. Like we were
Nuts.
off the flight, and Nikki's like, okay, I'll pick you up there then. When the baggage gets off the carousel, it is drenched.
Oh.
And then we leave our luggage at the port, and everyone's luggage is drenched.
Drenched.
And I'm just like, oh, good. Well, at least mine was pre-soaked,
Already
so it's
wet,
really drenched.
Really soaked into mine. It was real nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
God.
Oh.
So yeah, it'll be
Anyway,
an adventure.
come to
You
the
should definitely
cruise.
come.
It's so fun.
It won't.
We didn't even. We haven't even talked about Plucky Ducky. Like, there's a lot that
Oh my
goes on.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pack my wig separate. Then.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
I just have a
Yeah.
bunch of rubber ducks around the
I
house.
still do too. If I'm ever out and see a Plucky Ducky, I'm playing that shit
That was so fun.
for a couple hours.
Yeah, we were
Because
like
just
the
so you
only
know,
people
it's this
in
game.
an arcade.
It's like a claw game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's you
You
it's
play
like
until
rubber
you get a
ducks in it,
ducky.
but
But
you
it's
play
only
until you
ducks.
get a duck.
But they're all
Yeah.
different kinds. Like, there's like robot ducks and
It's
like
a
Right,
surprise.
yeah.
It's a
shiny ducks and, like,
surprise every
sparkly ones.
time. There's
Right.
Oh
these
my
rubber
God,
ducks.
I
Every
want these.
time.
It was like
Every
a dollar
time.
or whatever you play, but
So
you
we
get
like
a duck.
we
Yeah.
we would hyper
play
fixate
until you
on
get
like
the duck.
one duck, and then the three of us would take turns trying to get that one duck, and we might get a different duck, but that would move the position. It was
No one
insane.
We were
Could
very
do a better
strategic
commercial
about it.
for their arcade than us
It
playing.
was
Plucky
hilarious.
Ducky.
Wait, no one was in the arcade. It was like our
No
own
one
space
nobody.
to like
Except Jeb Bush's
be
brother.
away from people.
Oh yeah, yes.
Bush's
And then I'm because I went to the bathroom, and then I come back and I turn the corner from the bathroom to the arcade, and there's a guy stretching, and because of just how I turned the corner, I get like jump scared by up there being a person, and he and I just make eye contact on the stairs, and he's just like, oh, like, sorry, what? And I was like, sorry, I got scared.
Oh wait, they can see us. Okay. Yeah, sorry. It works the other way. It works the other way. It works the other way.
And then I was like, oh, sorry, I'm being really weird right now.
Oh,
My friends and
love
I
that.
are playing Plucky Ducky in the arcade, and then he just goes, what?
What?
Like, and then he comes
In
in.
an Australian accent. Like, let's get this
Yeah, in an
straight.
Australian accent. He comes in with us. Yeah, but I didn't want to do the accent. Be like, what are you? Like, and then, I didn't want to offend people with my bad attempt. And so then he goes in to see this, and then Nikki and Randy are like, we just got the gold Plucky Ducky!
We won
And they're
the
like,
gold ducky!
We
Like,
jump up
literally
and down.
that, like, that
this man
excited about it.
sees these three idiots jumping up and down over a duck, and he just goes like, okay. And he's
Okay.
like, you guys are crazy, leaves. We talked to him later, and I'm like, look at our ducks. And he's really nice, really sweet, talking to him for like an hour, and then he mentioned something about his being, then we noticed he's got like a gold card, and we're like, how'd you get a gold card? And he's like, oh, I'm here with my sister, Jess Bush. And we were just like, you mean Nurse Chapel? Strange to us. I literally just went, no.
Like, oh,
And he
yeah.
burst out laughing.
Oh
He
my
just
God.
cracked
Like,
We were
laughing.
like, oh, we just made big
Like, oh, that
nerds
was
of ourselves.
really embarrassing.
I was just like, what do you mean? Because, like, for context, I saw him before I found out that he's, I think it was before I found out that he's just Bush's brother. I saw him again and just ran over, handed him a duck, and ran away. And he laughed. And so it was like, then he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just Bush's brother. Messed
Oh,
up.
I'm so sorry, domestic. It was good to see you, though.
Oh,
It was
my
good to see
goodness.
you.
Also,
the Walmart
oh, the
was
ship's
across the
mold.
port. It was across from the port.
It wasn't, but yeah, we
It
could have
was.
peed there instead of the like
We could
creepy
have gone to
haunted
that
thing.
bathroom,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah,
we were-
no, good that you missed the
Boy,
tequila
you guys
tour,
are really
honestly.
selling this cruise. Like,
But it's an
I just-
adventure, right? It sounds like an
I
adventure.
mean,
If all we said was,
Listen.
yeah, we laid around by the pool for a week, you'd be like, well, that's cool. But all of this?
No, this was.
I had a guy really try and sell me on a salad that I didn't want. Like there was so much that
Oh
Are
my
you
gosh.
sure you don't want this? I'm going to call the captain. I think you should have a
Wow.
salad.
like a man leaves because I've got dietary issues. And I'm like, hey, the steak that I said earlier that I wanted ready tonight and you guys told me with my dietary you should have ready. They're like, yeah, can I just order that? And he's like, oh, I don't have any record of that. Do you want a salad? Because I have dietary issues. I'm like, no.
Oh, thank God.
And then he just leaves, and then he comes back and asks me again if I want a salad. I'm like, no, thank you. I told him. He leaves, comes
We have
back with a
different dressing.
a
20 minutes
manager.
later, it's the
Maybe you want a
manager.
salad
The
with something
manager,
else on it.
the manager comes over and he goes,
Yes.
excuse me, miss, I believe we were trying to get you a salad.
You said you want a salad?
I turned, and it was formal night, so we're all dressed up.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
were sat
Oh.
with two
Nuts.
random people we'd not met before because of the size of our party. And the one woman just goes, she doesn't want a salad.
Doesn't want a salad. Total stranger. Just doesn't want the salad.
They gave me food eventually. It was just so weird.
It was, yeah. It was
I
interesting.
never had another issue at any of the restaurants.
No.
That was
It was
just such
so
a
weird.
weird night.
So-
No,
And that's the one that
Yeah.
yelled at you for not letting them know about your dietary restrictions before, but you did.
I did.
yeah.
Before going, because I was
Wow.
like traveling, I'm gonna be at the behest of this
Such a hot mess.
cruise line. I'm gonna call ahead of time. Like
I-
I was on it.
I can't wait to get
See?
on
See?
this cruise.
I hope you want
It
a
is
salad
my
and some wet
first.
luggage and to lose the door decoration contest.
I mean,
Yeah.
But to be fair, we got huggies from Dougie's.
Oh,
We got to
it was
rock
amazing.
out
It
and
was
have
worth
so
all
much
of the
fun.
Also,
crap.
with the sci-fi
important.
sisters.
We did not give Doug Jones COVID.
We
Because
did-
No.
no.
people asked me, like, "Hey, you hugged a lot of people and there was COVID. Did you get COVID?" And he's like, "No, I'm good." We're like, "Great, thanks, love that."
It wouldn't have been us. It would have been one of the other 300 people.
Yeah. Also, I totally forgot about this. While I was just sitting in the parking lot with my like, death store, Todd Stashwick walks by me with this little roller and just goes, "Are you okay?" And I just said, "Yeah, I'm
Nikki
good,
left
Cap."
me.
I literally go. I said,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
we
my
did
friends
come
come.
get- we did come pick you up.
My friends coming to get me, Captain Shaw." And he just goes, "Okay."
Okay. You look injured. Why did they leave you here by yourself?
He's just
as her
like,
feet are bleeding in the.
Right.
They
It's
were
fine.
leaving
Just leave me to die.
I'm fine.
I really
Okay, wait, I
didn't
do have to go. I
know.
do have to
no,
go. My
they
feet
weren't
are-
bleeding. They weren't
Like, I
bleeding. I want to be
really
clear.
No,
They
I'm just-
weren't bleeding.
We exaggerated.
It wasn't. Nikki did not like ignore bloody footprints.
no,
I want to
no.
be
No,
clear.
I know. I'm just.
Well, you got some haunted ghosts following you? I'm getting out of here.
But it was definitely like all morning. I was just like, I just want to get off of this fucking boat. Like I did not feel well at all. It was bad. It was a
But yeah,
bad
definitely
morning.
come.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't
I will
wait.
say,
Get my wigs
I will-
wet. Get on a
I will say,
losing door
once we
team.
got
Oh my
got to
God.
the tequila distillery, we were so happy.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah,
drank
ask-
like
10
It
to 12 shots later, Nikki bought everything. They knew exactly
so
what
much
they were doing.
tequila.
But you can ask Nick. It doesn't take but one drink from me. I have no tolerance whatsoever.
They were giving us free shots of each of their tequila to try.
Oh God.
Two, because they're like,
Yeah, you could have
take
two.
in case it feels like some of you need it. And we were like, need
Yeah,
it.
no,
Hell
he
yeah,
he
we-
saw how miserable we were when the tour
Yeah.
guide tried to take us to buy more things rather than to actually like go to this distillery. And DJ Storm just goes no and just walks, finds the tour guide for the distillery and just goes, "Can you give us a tour, please?" And he goes, "Oh, do you guys have a tour guide?" And then Bobby, who is with DJ Storm, just goes, "We're done with him."
Work that.
And we just took it.
He was so much fun. He was
Yeah.
quiet for the majority of the time. And he would like throw a zinger in. You're just like, oh my god.
It's so fun.
At the beginning, when we had no food and no caffeine, it was first thing in the morning on this tequila thing.
Oh,
Bobby and I were trying to be positive. We were like taking photos of each other, and then we
I don't know
just
why.
then we just hit our limit. And then I started taking photos of any statue we saw and started captioning it with like, "Where's my tequila?" And there was like one statue of a guy looking up, and I was like, "God, where's the tequila?" Just, like,
do you have pictures of the Home Depot?
no.
No.
Okay,
We're
I
on
have
the
to drop. I
bus
do have to
by
drop.
that
I'm
point.
sorry.
Okay.
You guys can stay, but I have to go.
Yeah.
I love you. All
Yeah.
the things. Yeah,
We
definitely
should
come on the
honestly-
cruise.
Yeah, come on
Yes.
the cruise.
Definitely. Anyone else too?
It was great to see
I
you,
love everyone.
domestic. Can we
Yes,
highlight
it was,
domestics? It was so great to see you.
It was really good to see.
Yeah, we're going next year. Gonna have a good time.
Try to anyway. All right, I'm gonna go. You guys can close that if you need to, but they're about to show up at my door, so I'm gonna go watch Demolition Man.
There
All
you
right.
go.
I'm
What?
gonna go watch it too.
I'm in the thing.
I've
so I
never
can hit
seen
end
it. Where's it
broadcast when we
streaming?
need to.
It was streaming on Amazon, but I think they pulled it. Anyway,
All right, maybe I'll watch
Just go.
Demolition Man.
You just go. No, we're still here. We're still here. I'm in that I can hit the end broadcast when we need to.
Okay,
so.
good.
We can go for like 6 more minutes.
Okay.
Oh, except Lisa's gotta go.
I do. I've got little furry ones who are coming over. That's why I took the
Come
phone
on,
call.
let's see Mr. Beasley.
He's outside with. Apparently, my dog is a scrub. I thought Alan was joking about him barking at just female dogs. He is a scrub. Alan, he's like, "Hey, girl, I got no car. I got my head out the window. What's up?" Yeah, this little bitty dog. He tried to talk to a greyhound today who's like, 4 feet taller than he is. And he's like, wah, 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 wah. What's up, girl? So, yeah, I need to go talk to Miss Beasley.
I mean, I've got a friend whose dog, it's a rescue, and unfortunately, this dog is racist to black women specifically. Like, genuinely only barks at them.
Oh my god.
And my friend.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but
my friend is like desperately trying to teach this German Shepherd, which is a scary dog, to not be racist. Yeah. And it's like he doesn't. He's like, I don't know what happened to this dog in its past. I'm trying so hard.
He tries to desensitize him by showing him pictures of Oprah and Michelle.
Yeah, he's like Oprah.
Good black women.
Like, and this is a friend of mine. This is a friend of mine who literally his first crush as like a child was on Oprah. So he's just like I don't know what to do with this dog.
This is Rihanna. She's okay. Maybe he should start with like Hispanic people. He's like, see, the light browns people are okay. Then he can move to the darker.
Yeah, no, and like
show him pictures of cat. Take him to Hamilton, and he can just
take the dog to
Hamilton.
Maybe stream it on Disney Plus rather than go to a theater.
See, they're okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't you love Angelica? She's so talented.
So talented.
Dog's just like.
You could also do the Encanto at the Hollywood Bowl. That's
yes. Oh,
that's a good one to stream too.
The show was called Better Off Dead. We were talking about it earlier. I couldn't remember the name. Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
That was so. I didn't watch. I didn't watch that show. It was just like I would catch random episodes of things and watch an entire episode. And this is why I ended up like taking screenwriting. I would like take notes because I was a nerd as like a child. I watched that episode and was like, this is height of comedy, like workplace comedy. Because that episode was so funny. I'm just like
great show. It was canceled too soon.
All right.
Kind of like Gallivant, which I love.
Pushing Daisies. I started rewatching that.
That was what I was just about to say. Pushing Daisies. Was my jam.
Have you seen Pushing Daisies, Nikki?
Nope.
It was already a wonderful show. After COVID, it is perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the two main the main couple can't touch, otherwise she'll die.
Oh, interesting.
So they like kiss through saran wrap and like all this like little stuff.
Aw.
Oh,
And-
Digby.
Yeah, my main trigger warning for pushing, because it's a saccharine sweet adorable show. Yeah, my only trigger warning for it is genuinely like first episode, a dog dies, but he comes right back to life. It's okay. All right, that's like the premise of the show. Things come back to life.
I mean, Kristen Chenoweth is everything in this movie.
Kristen Chenoweth
And
is in
I
it.
adore
Chai
her.
McBride, the colors, the narrator.
It's
I mean,
Jim Dale, who he like narrated all the Harry Potter like books
Potter.
on tape, and he's literally just being like, the facts were these. Ned was a young boy, and you're just like, yes, I'm in a storybook now, and it's like it's Lee Pace. It is.
Who I fell in love
And
with
it's
on
Brian
that
Fuller,
show.
who created Discovery and started by sending in fan scripts for Deep Space Nine and then worked on Voyager. It's Brian Fuller's show.
It's fantastic. I have both seasons on actual DVD because
Same.
I loved it so much. And I rewatched it. I introduced Alan to it, and he was like, my husband, he was like, this show is amazing.
Yeah,
it was all about Pitchy Daisies, Dead Like Me. Like those are like my happy places, Charmed. But that's another conversation, another time. Oh, Me Too, Benjamin. Very unhealthy crush on Lee Pace. Still,
yeah.
I was
honestly
so sad he just got married. I was like, I knew he was gay, but I don't care.
But last thing, because we've got like literally a minute, is just that
Yeah.
Lee Pace's character in that show is very much a asexual icon to a lot of as an ace person.
I can
Because
see that.
the fact that he's completely okay with being in a relationship with a woman where sex will never happen, and he's like, physical intimacy, like he likes holding hands with her when they're wearing gloves and things like that, but like that he's okay with that. And so he's not aromantic. He is absolutely head over heels in love with her. But the fact that like the lack of touch is okay with him, and they even have conversations about how he's like, I'm never gonna need like a surrogate or anything like that. Like, you're the one for me.
It's a beautiful show.
Yeah,
we will watch it when you come back from your
now I'm gonna have to watch.
excursions.
Yeah. So all right.
Well, hold on.
This was a weird stream.
Lisa, tell everybody where they can find you on the socials.
Oh, on Twitter at Lisa_Lafayette. And then on Instagram, it's Lisa Lafayette _ the blurred. And there's pretty much nothing but pictures of dogs and supporting my LGBTQ extra family.
And most recently, our trip to the Star Wars celebration.
Oh yes,
videos for our Star Wars celebration, which is hilarious.
Support Black Jedis. We are underrepresented.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Purple lightsaber.
Well, Anna, Lisa, thank you for joining. We had so much fun. Lisa, welcome to the Leon Quadrant family. We're going to do more. I don't know when our next thing is going to be. We'll figure it out and we'll post it on our socials. So thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.